Why do I let Waylon throw food? Okay. Waylon is 13 months old. He cannot communicate. He's still learning cause and effect. His brain is not developed like adults. He doesn't understand. He is at the point in his development where he needs to learn cause and effect. So he learns that if he throws the food on the ground, that it's on the ground. He learns that if he throws food on the ground a bunch, that mom will take away the food and the mealtime is over. He learns that if he's hungry and he wants to eat food, that he should put the food in his mouth and not on the floor. I got a lot of comments about people comparing me to other Montessori people, and they don't let their kids throw food on the floor. Okay. I'm not like other people. I'm not them. Just because someone else does Montessori doesn't mean I do Montessori the same way. For one. For two, Montessori is a philosophy, it's a way of life, it's a lifestyle. And the main principle is play is the work of the child. That's like the main quotation. That's the main feel of the teaching, of the practice, of the philosophy. So I allow Waylon to play with his food because I see that as him working on his development. Yes, sometimes I tell him to stop. Sometimes I tell him, don't do that. Sometimes I hold his plate so he can't flip it. And most of the times I end the mealtime and I tell him, okay, you're throwing the food. That means you're all done. And I do the hand sign, all done food, all done eating. And I'll take the food away. You guys don't see that because I usually stop filming and do it. Or I let him throw the food for the video because it's funny. You need to understand that that is not every time. He eats like 5 to 6 times a day. You guys only see like 2 or 3 minutes of it a day. So the comments where people are like, he's going to be a horrible child because you don't tell him to stop or whatever. That's ridiculous. I tell him to stop. He's a little baby. He's not a toddler yet. Technically, he's not a toddler until he's 18 months old or 2 years old. He's 13 months old. He's still a little tiny baby. He does not understand these things. Someone said that they wanted a link to a website to provide information about throwing food, allowing the baby to throw food, and how it is technically Montessori. It's not. There's no rule in Montessori surrounding throwing food specifically. There's just general guidelines. It would fall more under gentle parenting. We do gentle parenting, which is not to be confused with permissive parenting. Gentle parenting is synonymous with respectful parenting. So, with a young, almost toddler, it's important to choose and pick your battles. For me, the way I parent my child is, as long as Waylon is safe, emotionally, physically, mentally, and he's not hurting other people, he's not putting other people in danger or the animals, I want to let him do what he wants to do. He's not going to throw food forever. He's safe in the kitchen to throw food if he wants to throw food. I'm the one that cleans it up. It's my child. It's my food. It's my kitchen. That's the end of it. Sometimes I tell him to stop. Sometimes I take the food away. Sometimes I let him throw the food. But that's it. That's why I let Waylon throw food. I let Waylon throw food because, 1, I think it's good for his development. 2, I'm picking my battles. I'm not going to fight a little baby after I've worked 10-hour shift fixing jets. Aircraft mechanic. It's not how I want to spend my evening. It's funny. I think it's funny. And 4, it's my baby. He's my baby. I'm going to raise him how I want. A lot of the people watching my channel are older. A lot of the people watching my channel are grandparents. To those people that want to have negative stuff to say and give me advice and tell me, don't let him do that, don't let him do this, don't let him do this, you need to put socks on him, you're a bad mom because he's sick at daycare all the time, don't do this, don't do that, he needs to wear clothes when he's going here, he's all that stuff, that's not constructive criticism. A lot of that stuff is just you projecting how you raised your kids onto me. It's my turn to raise my kids. Y'all had y'all turn to raise your kids the way you want it to. This is how I'm raising my kid. I did a lot of research when I was pregnant. I did a lot of research before I was pregnant. I have a good understanding of child development. A lot of the things people tell me, like, he got sick because he's sick all the time because he's not wearing socks in the house. Completely not even based in science. That's just like an old wives' tale. So a lot of these things that people are saying to me are not based in reality and don't make any logical sense. He gets sick a lot because he catches viruses from the other children at daycare because they're communicable diseases. That's it, period. I can't stop that. I can't control it. I can't afford to pull him out of daycare. Going to daycare and getting sick all the time is good for him. It helps build his immunity. It helps make him stronger. He learns how to maneuver social situations. It's very good for his development to be in daycare and be exposed to things that are less than ideal. I cannot keep him in a bubble where everything is perfect all the time, where the house is 75 degrees all the time. He's always wearing socks. He's always wearing a hat. He never throws food. He never has a tantrum. Those things don't happen. I'm raising a human. Humans have emotions. They go through stages. Sometimes they don't want to wear socks. Sometimes they put things in their mouth. He's a little human. He's learning how to live life. He doesn't know anything. He knows like a few things, but like as far as life goes, he doesn't know anything, and he's learning it, and we're watching him learn it, and that's what this channel's about. I'm open for constructive criticism. A lot of people don't understand what constructive criticism is, so I'll give you an example. Hey Emily, I see that you let Waylon run around the house with a comb in his mouth. I just want to let you know that if Waylon were to trip and fall, the comb could stab him in the back of his throat and he could get really hurt. Please be careful and make sure you watch him very closely when he runs around with the comb. I don't mean any disrespect, that's just advice I want to give you. That's constructive criticism. Something that is not constructive is the comments that are like, shame on you. Where are the parents? I can't believe the parents would do this. Clearly you have no common sense. Those things are not constructive. Those things are just insults to me. And life is already hard enough raising Waylon as a new mom, working 50 hours a week in the Air Force as an aircraft mechanic. So, that's what I mean when I say I'm open to constructive criticism. So I'll post a couple links in the description down below about developmental milestones for a 13-month-old, throwing food, meal times, gentle parenting, what Montessori is. I have blocked like 5 or 6 people from the comments on my channel. So I straight up just removed them. Those people are not allowed to comment anymore. They like physically are unable to do it because they have just repeatedly said negative things to me and it's affected my mental health. I made this channel for me to document my journey as a mother. When I uploaded all those videos of Waylon in the beginning, I never thought anyone was going to watch those videos. And I made a couple videos about me bagging breast milk, thinking that young mothers, new mothers would come watch that video because that's who my target audience was for those specific videos, where I was explaining like how I was doing the breast milk storage and stuff. And to my surprise, a lot of people started commenting that seemed like they were older. And I was very surprised, and it was like people that were old enough to be my grandparents were commenting. And I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought people my age would be commenting, asking questions like, oh, so how do you collect the breast milk and how long can you store it at room temperature? And I thought it would be people like me commenting. I didn't think I was somehow targeted a whole other generation. But by having the videos of a baby on YouTube, a lot of the older generation came out and said, oh, what a cute baby, you have a cute baby. And then the other part of the comments was people like, you need to put socks on him, you can't do it like this, you're doing it wrong, blah 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 blah, like criticizing me and not being helpful. So the channel has evolved over time to mostly just be a documentation of my child for me to review later in the future, just for keepsake, into now Waylon has fans and people that care about him. And I really appreciate the community that we've built here, and it wasn't my intention to build this community. And for the fans that watch and never comment, I would encourage you to say something nice in the comments, because I sit here at night when Waylon is sleeping and I read these negative comments, and it's hard. People are telling me all these bad things, and I'm second guessing myself as a mother, and it just, even if I had the strongest self-esteem, it's just hard. So I really appreciate the positive comments, and there are a couple of frequent flyers in my comment section. You know who you are because you've commented multiple times. You have my address. We've sent letters to each other. You've sent gifts to Waylon. I can't even begin to describe the appreciation that I have for you, for the people that participate in our lives like that. You're a part of our family. And for the people that want to say negative stuff, I'm just ignoring it from now on. I'm not going to argue because I have like impulse control issues because of my ADHD. And so I am like combative in the comments. I cannot control myself to not argue. This leads to me getting bullied a lot because people poke at me and then I give a reaction, and so they do it again and again. I'm working on it. It's like something I can't really control. So from now on, if you leave a negative comment like that, you're just getting blocked. So if you value being able to leave comments on my videos and you don't want to lose that privilege, please be very mindful of how you word things. If you want to give me advice, do it in a constructive way. Like, hey, I see you're doing this. I feel like this is the consequence. Here's the solution. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to help out Waylon. That's how you leave a constructive criticism. Do not call me names. Don't say I don't have common sense. Don't just straight up say like, where's the parents? I can't believe the parents are letting him do that. The way I'm raising Waylon might seem lackadaisical and like I don't have common sense, but I've thought about all this stuff. And I want Waylon to feel freedom. And I want him to learn how to take care of himself. He already brushes his own hair, brushes his own teeth, flosses himself. He helps himself get dressed. He's been doing it for months. When I go to put the shirt on him, he pushes his arm through like that. He sticks his legs up for me to put his pants on. And when I tell him socks, he puts his foot up for socks. He turns on the light to his closet, picks out his own outfits. Like, I'm teaching Waylon how to be secure in himself and how to be independent. Like, his bed is on the floor. He can get in and out of bed whenever he wants. He's never trapped. We put him on the little weaning table instead of strapping him in the high chair because I want him to know that, like, when he's done eating, he can get up. Just like me and Zach. When I'm done eating, I can just get up. So I want Waylon to have that freedom. And I want him to develop into his own little person. I don't want to constantly be chasing him around telling him, no, stop, don't do that. You have to wear both socks. Don't chew on that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Within reason. Okay, so there's limits. Obviously, when he was running with the comb, I thought to myself, oh God, if he trips, it's going to stab him in the back of his throat. But I also told myself, like, he's not going to trip. It's fine. Like, you're just freaking out. So from now on, I try not to let him run with objects that are long like that, like a pencil, a pen, a comb, a stick, a spoon, a fork. I try not to do that because if he does trip and fall, it will like stab him. And I do think of those things. Sometimes I tell myself like, it'll be fine, like it's not a big deal. And other times I like freak out and I'm like, he shouldn't do that at all. I'm learning to like try to let go of my anxiety as a first-time mom. So like now he climbs on the couch. Well, like that used to freak me out because like what if he falls off? Well, yesterday I kind of let him fall off because the way he was falling, he would land on his butt. So I like let him do it a little bit. And he like fell and like looked at me like to see my reaction. And I was like, "You're okay." And he was okay. Now when he almost falls off like head first, I catch him. But I have to let him fail. I have to let him get hurt a little bit. I have to let him experience life. I cannot keep both socks on his feet. So, I just want to make this video about the comment section because I just had to get it off my mind because it's 11 o'clock and I can't really sleep because I'm thinking about it. I deleted a bunch of comments. I blocked a bunch of people. So, if you were blocked, if you have lost the ability to leave a comment and you want to gain back that ability, you can email me and we can talk about it. And I can figure out how to unblock you. But from now on, I'm just not tolerating it because I have too much stuff to do. I'm focusing on finding a new job because I'm leaving the Air Force after 11 years and like I haven't done a job interview or worn business casual clothes since I was a teenager. So I need to learn how to live life again because the Air Force has indoctrinated me and I'm like an inmate basically. I don't know how to live in like regular life. So I'm focusing on that. I have less than like 60 days before I'm out of the Air Force and I have to figure out something else to do. So I'm prioritizing that over the comment section on YouTube. So I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. We're going to be setting up the tree this weekend. Yeah, and good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.